Hello again, YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you're listening from. Welcome back to the Mind of the Meek, where today I'll be briefly sharing my thoughts on the subject of attention under the caption, "Not everyone deserves your attention." But before we get into it, please remember, if you're on YouTube, to like the content, to subscribe, and also to share your thoughts in the comment section, because your thoughts are also valuable. So, without a further ado, let's get into it. I'd like to also reference a short story or allegory from an author called Aesop that's entitled "The Lion and the Ass," and it reads, "One day as the lion walked proudly down a forest aisle, and the animals respectfully made way for him, an ass brayed a scornful remark as he passed. The lion felt a flash of anger, but when he turned his head and saw who had spoken, he walked quietly on. He would not honor the fool with even so much a stroke of his claws." The moral of the story: do not resent the remarks of a fool. Ignore them. I'd also like to reference one of the confrontations of Jesus that's found in the book of Mark chapter 15 verses 1 through 5, where Jesus was confronted by a Roman official, Pontius Pilate by name. He asked Jesus if he was king of the Jews. In response to Pilate, Jesus said, "It is as you said." But then something interesting happened. Some of the other men that were there falsely accused Jesus of doing many things, but to which Jesus did not respond. Pilate then asked Jesus if he was going to respond to the accusations made against him, but Jesus remained silent. What is the lesson there? Not everything people say against or about you deserves your attention. As ancient philosopher Marcus Aurelius remarked, "You are better off not giving the small stuff more time than they deserve." Also, Jesus perhaps had experienced false guilt as a result of being blamed for things he had nothing to do with, but he had emotional control. Thus, he relied on facts about himself rather than the false guilt which he might have felt, which is remarkable self-control. Reminds me of another ancient philosopher by the name of Lao Tzu, who phrased that silence is a source of great strength. Do not give consent to false rumors or accusations made against you, even if they make you feel guilty and prompt you to defend yourself. Instead, embrace the false guilt and rest assured in the facts that 1. Time will tell, and 2. People's baseless opinions about you has nothing to do with you, and neither do they define you. Besides, most of the times, people are merely seeking for a reaction from you, so as to fuel them to continue their aspersions against you. I reckon that Jesus is the creme de la creme of the practice of selective attention, in which he only responded to what he knew was true about him, but ignored what wasn't. Therefore, choose wisely to whom you channel your attention. In the book of Hebrews chapter 12 verse 3, it says, "Consider him," meaning Jesus, "who endured such opposition from sinners, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart." The scripture is advising us to consider how Jesus strategically responded to criticisms and inaccurate claims about him, so as to guide us as to how to avoid ending up in situations that aren't even worth being a part of. They were in opposition against Jesus because they dubbed him as someone he wasn't, like calling him glutton, a drunkard, even demon-possessed. And they also accused him of being involved in doing many things he had nothing to do with, such as saying he committed blasphemy by comparing himself to God. But Jesus didn't respond to these criticisms made of him because he knows himself. I'm reminded of another quote from ancient philosopher Lao Tzu that says, "One who believes in himself has no need to convince others." Jesus knew the truth about himself. In fact, he is the truth, according to John 14 verse 6. Hence why he felt no need to defend himself against the reputational besmirch toward him. You see, once you believe that you are truthful about who you are, then there's no need to defend yourself when others try to root blame to you about doing things that you didn't do. King Solomon, a former king of the nation of Israel and philosopher, remarked in Proverbs 26 verse 4 when he said, "Do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you also be like him." Not only it is a sign of emotional weakness when you respond to every criticisms and accusations aimed toward you, but you also reflect the accusers in a sense where you entertain their nonsense. It's like a mentally ill person is accusing you of being mentally ill, and you're strongly arguing with them that you're not mentally ill. Now you look mentally ill by telling a mentally ill person that you're not mentally ill, and that's mentally ill. Another proverbial quote from King Solomon states in Proverbs 17:28, "Even a fool who keeps silent is considered wise. When he closes his lips, he is deemed intelligent." And the final remark is another quote from myself, and it states, "Opinions given consent are facts. Opinions without consent are mere accusations." So that's all I had to share for today, guys. Thank you for watching and for listening, and please be sure to join me on the next episode on the Mind of the Meek. See you there.